Hello, Randy Rain here, and welcome to the story of the Radio Shack remote control tank. Let me explain. When I saw this tank on eBay, I noticed it was made in Japan, and it was about the exact same size as the Sears tank that I refurbished, and it looked just like it. So I had a feeling it's the same tank. I looked close, and everything just screamed the exact same tank. Same battery door, same everything. I mean, it was a little bit different in style, but still, same tank and same size. So I bought it, and I was wrong. It's very close, and it probably is the exact same people who made the other one, but it's not the same. And it might be the same, but what is not the same is the tank track, and that's what I needed because I molded the tank track last time, and I have the mold for the Sears one, so I figured it was the same one. But no, the sprockets are on the inside on this one, where the one from Sears, the sprockets on the wheels was on the outside. So I'm going to have to make another mold out of this one that's barely hanging on here. It's very fragile, but I've done it before, so I'll do it again. But you can see it has this really cool little remote for it that has the little steering wheel up here, which is the steering wheel just feels like a potentiometer. It's very interesting feeling. I mean, it is a potentiometer. It's got to be. There's a push to start button, and you can see the Radio Shack with the stars on here. Alright, so that was the plan, to fix this one all up. It needs a lot of work. But then I saw this one on eBay, and it was going really, really cheap. And I looked and I compared, and I looked and I compared. The only thing I could see different was this one is made in Korea, where the other one was made in Japan. But that's not unusual. But I looked. You can see it has the same little, guard section back here on the turret. On the turret, there's this cross, there's a little asterisk looking thing here, and it has these four little things sticking up here, and four little things sticking up here on the side. Has this little funny thing here on the front. It's the exact same tank, except for this wheel back here that turns the track doesn't have the sprockets. It just has grooves back here. There's no sprockets on this one. I mean, the other thing that's different is I didn't even notice this, but yeah, the remote control's totally different too. It still has the Radio Shack with the stars, but there's no potentiometer here. Now you can feel the buttons that you're turning. The button, I'm just on and off, I'm sure, on that. And there's a switch. And it's bigger. So then it got me thinking, does the track for this one need to have ridges in them? Will the track that I make for the other tank not work on this one? Do I need to find one that has those ridges on it? Well, I did find one that had the ridges on it. And I compared, I looked. It had the, guardrail on the back of the turret. Had the little four things on the side here that poked up. Had the X and the asterisk on top of the little hatches there. Same thing everywhere. A little bit different battery door. And it was different that the remote only had one button, and it was just a forward, straight, reverse, turn type of thing. But that's not unusual for things to change like that. But the most important thing is that the tank tracks had the little ridges in them. And there was two perfectly good ones here. So I went ahead and purchased that one. And now when you look at them, they look exactly like the same tank, except when you put them side by side. And you can see this one is way smaller. They shrunk it, which is also a common thing that they used to do. Okay, so I'm done buying tanks. I'm going to forget about the Korean ones right now, and this video will be about the Japanese one. I got to make that belt anyway. Got to fix all this stuff anyway, so let me get going inside of this one. So if I had to guess the ages, I would say this is the youngest one, then this one, then this one. So I would say it started off in Japan, and then they moved everything to Korea, and then they shrunk it. But that's not the case. interesting enough, the youngest one is this one, 1980. And I found on the back here, it says it was manufactured June 1980. So this is the oldest one. So they started off in Korea, okay? But then this one says 1985, but there's no way I'm going to get to it. I had to get a magnifying glass to see it. But it says 1984. So it was actually manufactured in 1984, but it says 1985 on it. So they went from Korea to Japan, which so far seems to be a better version. And then you have this one, which is 60, 40, 52. And this one has nothing on there. And you'd think there'd be something on the remote, but no. But I have the box and everything. And here is the instructions. 1985. You have to look inside the battery compartment. That's going to have to be redone. Something in the turret. There's a battery compartment in the turret for a 9-volt. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. This is 1984. Metal gears in there. Are you kidding me? This thing's badass. I don't have to replace anything, I'm sure. It's all... Wow, it's got this weird plastic cover thing on here. Well, that's something else right there. There is no tensioning on this one. None of those wheels tension that belt, because I gotta get this thing off of there without it breaking. And like my joke, it's like working with the Dead Sea Scrolls here. And so I guess they stretched it on, but it don't stretch very much anymore. These all have screws in them. If I get these out of the way. One tank track. Yowza, look at that. I just noticed that. It's all rusted. I can tell you right now that it only goes forward, and when it turns, one of them just stops. Because basically, it looks like positive is coming into here onto both sides of the motor, and then negative either turns them on, both of them on, or just one of them on at a time. Look at all those metal gears. Not a plastic one in there. And this was 1984. Just doesn't seem right. Okay, here's 4.5 volts, which is, I'm pretty sure, is what it's getting if it's using 3 C batteries. But here's the real problem. That switch. Hopefully it's just the switch. I mean, I'm going to try to salvage the switch. And if not, I can, find a replacement for that. But just hope it's not anything else. And it doesn't look like it. Everything else looks good. I think I'm going to use the last of my WD-40 here to start off with. Okay, this might be crazy, but I'm wondering if I can heat this up and get the bend out of it. Just using a hair dryer. Alright, now I have beeswax. Now there's some little notches missing, little sections. And all the sections that are missing are along the red piece of construction paper. And I did that on purpose because I'm going to try to fill in with some wax. Alright, I'm just using the Mold Max 30. So I gotta get those out. Everything else over here looks fine, but those need work. I cleaned it out as best as I can in there. And I've got some pieces of brass here. I'm going to slide that piece. And I have another piece that's going to slide through here. And I'm going to solder it. Well, I don't have many kinds of springs, but here's a spring, different kind of, I don't know, what is that, tension spring. If I can unspring it, alright, it's time to give it a nice try. These go in here. Yep, a little over 4.5 volts. Yes. Come on. So I was wondering if this was the case, that since there's a potentiometer here, it's slowing down each one since it doesn't go in reverse. I knew it, I could tell by the wiring it wasn't going to do that. But it's not just turning on and off each side. It's making one go slower and faster. And I'm pretty sure you have to hold down the button to do this. Now I've dug around in my molds and I found this one. Now what it is, I have no idea. Looks like some sort of battery compartment, a half of the mold. But I notice it has this little, really smooth, indention here. And that's what I need. Because here's a piece of wire. It's actually a guitar string. I cut a little slit here. I'm going to put it down. So it's time to make the tank tracks to get it going using the Simpac 85A. This stuff is incredibly strong. I can't break this. This thick part here, I can't break it. Well, maybe I can. On that thin part there, I can. But here it's... So there you have it, the first of the Radio Shack's combat tanks. So you ready to see it in action? Here we go. It's the U.S. Army Band. Pretty cool little tank, huh? Well, it's on eBay right now, so if you want to help out the channel, go check it out. It comes with the 4 cones, the box, you get the original tread, a working tank, the working remote. So go throw a bid on there if you want a cool little tank. Anyway, if you like this video, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to see more, of course, hit the subscribe button. I want to thank these people right here. These are patrons. These are people helping me out. And these are people who are bringing you the cool 1984 Radio Shack combat tank. And anyway, I thank them oh so very much. And if you'd like to become a patron, of course, there's a link anyway. So go check it out on eBay. Help support the channel. It's a pretty cool tank. Anyway, thanks for watching.